Photoshop can open MP4 files. MP4 files are great sources of imagery. I've got this design I created in DaVinci Resolve. It could be any video footage. It doesn't have to be an abstract design like this. When you've opened it, go to Window and Timeline. You can see my timeline there, and you can run through with this playhead and you can see different designs. You just move it along. You think, yes, that's a great design. Well, how can I store that image? Well, you could go to File and Export. That's an option, and other file and saves and things. But what you can also do is you can use the patterns. So Window and Patterns. Here's the patterns. And you can see I've already created some earlier. Go to Edit and down here Define Pattern, P1 or anything, call it something. And it's stored away up here, over here. And you can move it here and again Edit and again Define Pattern, P2. So you can just store all these. Now you could save them, of course, in your library. You can, like say, file and export. You could save them that way. But the patterns are a great source of imagery that you can just use at any point. Maybe use it in a future project as well. So once you've got all your snapshots of these images, go to Layer and Flatten Image. I don't want the video anymore. And also Edit and Fill. I'm just going to fill it with white. And I'm going to close the timeline. I can go over here and I've got all these pattern designs. These ones I can just click and drag. And there it is. And you can see there, if I go to the Layers panel, it's a pattern fill. So I can double click and I can change it. I can turn around and say, I want that to be. Now, if I put 50, you can see a problem with the pattern fill. There's a line. Unfortunately, there's no mirror feature. I do not know why in 2023 that Photoshop does not still have a mirror feature, but it doesn't. So unfortunately, you've got that line. So probably best just to keep it at 100. You could put it to 150, 120. So 100, I'm going to go with. Click OK. And you've got these other ones. There's another one I created. Now hold down the Alt or Option key. That's on the keyboard. But don't click on it. Don't want to do that. Just drag and just drag across like that. And now you've got two. You see you've got two layers. That was the point where I obviously captured that video playhead. That's the image there. And you can do the same. So this one. Again, hold down the Alt or Option key, drag, and you've got another layer. Slightly different, but with the same sort of effect. And you could do it, obviously, the ones I created earlier. Just drag those and drag those in as well. You could build up a whole load, 10 or 15 layers that you can then combine. But what you can also do is go to Layers, and you notice a problem. At the moment, you can only see the top one. Of course, you need to go here and change the blend mode. So just go down there and maybe go with Lighten, and then you can see the layer that's just below. Go to this one, Normal, just put it to Lighten or Difference or anything else. And again, select that one, Normal, and again, Lighten. Go for Overlay and so on. And you can see you can build up quite a complex design, quite unusual imagery very quickly. And you can move things around. You can all the time just double click and bring this up. You can change the angle, change the size, scale. But I'm going to keep it the same. I'm happy with that design. What you can then do, Layer and Flatten Image. So it all gets flattened into one background layer. I can now apply some filter effects. I'm just going to go for Filter and Stylize and Oil Paint. The reason for that is if you look at it closely, it's a bit coarse. But if you do a few oil paints and you can put them back to 5, you can see that smears it enough to make it look really nice and smooth and blended. So click OK. A couple of applies, Filter, Oil Paint, maybe Filter and Oil Paint, and you've got this great image, which you can then use Image, Adjustments, maybe go for levels, just tweak it just slightly, boost it up there and click OK. As it's a wavy design, you can see a sort of wave design. I love wave designs. I always love to go to Filter, Distort and down to Wave. With this, you can tweak the number of generators. I'm going with 1, generally I always stick with 1. And I can just modify the wavelength and amplitude. Now as you see, you can change that, just move that there. You've got Repeat and Sign and click OK. And you've got that distorted design. You may filter, go Stylize and Oil Paint. If it's slightly created a bit more coarseness in it again, just click OK. Filter and Oil Paint. If you want to recolor it, obviously you might not want the red. You can always go to Image, Adjustments and maybe Hue and Saturation, or maybe use the Layer menu and go for New Adjustment Layer just to create a non-destructive effect. So hue and saturation, just tweak it slightly. You might go for pink, maybe more saturated, maybe change the lightness and click OK. Have you got any questions, comments, thoughts? Please put them in the comments below. Always great to hear from you. Bye.